Well, hello. I originally had a plan of doing a video on 31 horror movie recommendations that was going to release October 1st, but life happens. So I figured I would give 5 horror manga that I recommend. But I decided to make it a little bit more challenging on myself by giving one rule. The manga that I recommend could not have an anime adaptation. Live action movies get a pass though, because some manga will have a live action movie but not an anime. So no Dead Man Wonderland, another Corpse Party, When They Cry, Shiki, or anything like that. So make sure to click that like button for horror. Number 1, Scumbag Loser. The thing that grabbed my attention to get me to start reading this was the Cheshire grin that you're greeted with on the cover. A pervert doesn't want to be known as the bottom of the barrel of his class, but there's one guy that's below him on social standing because he didn't have a girlfriend. However, all that changed when he does get a girlfriend. So he becomes the scumbag loser and decides to cover that up when he lies about having a girlfriend who just so happens to be his childhood friend that died when they were younger. All that changes when that childhood friend appears in class, but is supposed to be dead. Now this guy is at the mercy of this dead friend, and also has to unravel the mystery of who is this person and why does this have the face of his once dead friend. Highly recommend it. It's really creepy and the imagery is out of this world. Number 2, Higgin Jima. I kind of ran across this series from a clip of the second live action movie based on the series. The monsters from the clip immediately grabbed my attention. I've only watched the first live action movie and it was meh. A young man and his friends travel to an island in search for his missing brother. On arrival, they are ambushed by vampires. The story is horrific because these people are essentially stuck in hell, with members of the group being picked off one by one over an extended period of time. Now, I want to give a word of warning. Usually vampire movies are, movies, manga, stuff like that are on the tamer side. This is not a tame manga with vampires in it. It's very, how should I put it? It's graphic. There's a rape, there's gore. If you're sensitive to those kind of imagery and topics, skip it. Number 3, Hellstar Ramina and the Enigma of Amigata Fault. I realized that Junji Ito has an anime, but I was very disappointed to not see Hellstar Ramina or Enigma Amigata Fault animated. Maybe it's because of the imagery, but I put them both here due to them being by the same creator. Hellstar Ramina is basically a sentient planet coming to destroy Earth, and Enigma of Amigata Fault is kinda hard to describe, but the best way I can describe it is the horror of impulse, when an earthquake reveals human-shaped holes that seem to fit specific people, and these people are drawn to their hole. If you watch Steven Universe, you can probably remember, I think her name is, I don't really watch much of Steven Universe, I think her name is Amethyst. There's a nod to Enigma of Amigata Fault, and she wanted to go into her hole. Number 4, Higginbottom. Okay, I am going to give a disclaimer. This manga is not for the faint of heart. This series deals with bullying in the worst way possible. This was created by Ryukishi 07 of 07th expansion. Yes, Higurashi, Umineko, and Rose Gun Days. But its subject matter is very different from his usual work. So, trigger warning for basically everything you can think of. But this is an anthology of stories that revolve around mysteries in a school. The standout entrant being Meso Meso, where a bullied girl seeks comfort from her teacher, but a teacher gives her comfort in the worst way possible. If you cannot handle the topic of rape and murder, rape that leads into murder, I would not even touch Higginbottom, because they show it right out the gate within the first few pages of the manga, and it's shown graphically. I wouldn't even touch Higginbottom, because it even happens after her death, even when she, because that's what the story is. Not even a spoiler, because that's what that first story is about. Even after she's dead and while she's a ghost, it happens again. So if you can't handle that subject matter, I wouldn't even bother with it. I'm gonna show a picture of a puppy now. Here's a picture of a puppy. There we go. Guess we gotta clear the air up a little bit. So I'm gonna have some honorable mentions now, because there are so many good horror manga that I wanted to add, just because I can. My video, ha ha ha. So my honorable mention is Frank and Fran. Love the series, love the characters. You know, I Am a Hero. Didn't finish it. It's because it's so much reading, And Seiya no Uta. There is no good end with that, and it's not a manga; it's a visual novel. And if I were you, I read it uncensored. And if you don't like seeing some stuff in that, read it censored. Don't do like me. So my number 5 is Magical Girl Apocalypse. This is an entry to the graphic Magical Girl series. If you're unfamiliar with that, it's Magical Girl Raising, Magical Girl Sight. It's an entry to the Magical Girl series. And if you're not familiar with the series, think Sailor Moon, but violent. But I do not think this one will ever be animated due to it being so graphic. But I could be proven wrong. But take magical girls and make them zombies and killing people. It sounds weird, but trust me, it works. It also reminds me of High School of the Dead, based off the art design. I mean, that's the best way I can describe it to you. You have to take my word for it that it works. But anyway, I could have went on and on with this list, but I want to know, what horror manga do you guys like reading? Comment that down below. If you want to see future random content from me, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell to stay posted. Also, you can find me on Twitch and Twitter, where you guys can interact with me and stay up to date with me.